Hi, everyone. We have Michelle with us today. Michelle, do you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Michelle, and I have two children, Thomas, who's 8.5, and Eden is 6.5. And Eden has Apert syndrome. And then we have a 7-month-old puppy. So I got my hands full.
Very nice. Did you know that Eden would have Apert syndrome before she was born?
We did not. So we didn't have a pre-birth diagnosis. There were a few complications. I was considered advanced maternal age because I was 38 when I was pregnant with her.
Okay.
And so they had noted on our 20-week ultrasound, I think it was, that the size of the head was a little large. So they actually sent us for a fetal ultrasound or fetal MRI.
Yeah.
And they said the baby could just have a big head. It could be something, it could be nothing. So we're not really, concerned. Let's just monitor. And we did another checkup where I can't remember what else was happening. Something else happened. I was having the hyperhidramnios, the excess amniotic fluid and things. And we did another fetal MRI. And same thing, the ventricles in the brain were noted to be a little bit large. And they said, again, could be something, could be nothing. It could resolve on its own. If it is something, it could be a host of things. We would need to do, a amniocentesis to find out. And at that point, Eden's dad and I felt like it doesn't matter. So we
Right.
didn't go forward with that. And we just said, so we found out at birth. So it was a shock. It was scary because we weren't in a hospital that could handle that. So we're in upstate New York, by the way. So once she was born, she had to get shipped down to the nearest children's hospital, specialty hospital that was about an hour, 50 minutes from us. So that was hard, obviously,
Yes,
for obvious
definitely.
reasons. So yeah, we did not
We
know.
we had to do the same thing. I'm finding that in a lot of these interviews that a lot of us had to stay in the hospital while our newborn was shipped off to another hospital.
Yeah,
It seems like
so
newborn
hard.
and dad took off with them,
Yeah,
and
exactly. And then we're stuck there with all the
yeah,
postpartum hormones and then the
yes.
craziness of, what was to be and the fear and everything. Yeah.
So
It's hard. I,
she's,
I sometimes wonder if it would have been easier had had we had a pre-birth diagnosis. I don't know.
I don't know. I wonder about that myself sometimes. And I think just for me, I feel like I would have gone into a really dark place had I known. So I feel like me not knowing was better off.
Blessing. Yeah.
Yeah. So you said
Yeah.
she's 6.5.
Yes.
So does she go to, is she in a regular school and regular classes?
She is. So Eden did preschool for 2 years. She does have a one-to-one nurse
Oh, nice.
because she has a trach. So she has the one-to-one nurse. And Eden went to preschool and her nurse went with her. And interestingly enough, she didn't walk or talk till she started preschool. So she was about 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we weren't really sure, like she was furniture walking and stuff like that. And she cognitively understood everything we were saying. She could do sign language. She just verbally was not expressing herself, but she could point to things, communicate with sign language and everything. So we just didn't know. And then it's kind of like when she went to preschool, it all clicked and she was like, oh, all right, I guess walking is going to get me around faster. And now I guess,
Yeah.
if I want to play and stuff, I should do this talking thing. So yeah, so she started and quickly enough we realized her cognitive level was pretty good. And so when she finished, and her pediatrician, and when she finished preschool, everybody recommended put her in regular general ed kindergarten, start her high, push her to see what her limits will be and what her abilities are, and then we'll go from there. So she just wrapped up kindergarten.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's exciting.
it's very exciting. It went by so fast.
It did. Emma had half a day preschool this year for 4 days a week. Next year, she'll have full day,
Right.
5 days a week. So I'm kind of nervous about that, but I think it'll be good. And she needs it to
Yeah.
prepare for kindergarten because
Yeah.
she likes to think that everything is about her. So
Oh, funny. Mine does too. Mine does too. Very interesting.
she would take her teacher's time. Apparently there was one day where she wanted to play in the kitchen and they couldn't get her out of the kitchen, so they all played in the kitchen.
Oh. Yeah. Well, Eden's funny. She's very sassy. And she likes to do what she wants to do. So, and she would get pulled out of class a lot for like PT, OT, speech.
Right.
So on one of the days that her specialist wasn't there, so she had to actually stay in the classroom for a longer time frame and attend to doing work for a longer time frame. She wasn't really thrilled with that. So the teacher said, Eden, everybody raise your hand when you're done with your work. So she's tapping her pencil, tapping her foot, all this stuff, and then raised her hand, I'm done. And the teacher comes over, she hadn't done her work. And we're like, oh, look at you. So yeah, so she is sassy one.
Yes. I'm finding a lot that our APER kiddos are very sassy.
Yeah.
Sassy. But I think that they've earned it with everything that they've gone through. They've earned it.
They've earned the right to have some attitude now and again.
Yes. Very true. How many surgeries has Eden had?
Let's see. Last September, she had her 11th. So just before she turned 6, she had her 11th surgery. Yeah. Countless hospitalizations for illness. She struggled a lot with respiratory. That was very clear. We spent the first 2 weeks in the NICU, went home for 2 weeks, came back for respiratory distress. We're in for a week, came home for a week, went back for respiratory distress. That happened about 3 times. Then we kept her in like a subacute hospital for about a month to try and give her some time to grow and support her to see if her lungs would kind of develop and it would ease up. Went home again, came back for respiratory distress. And at that point we knew we needed the trach. It just wasn't working. So got the tracheostomy. And then that actually messed up. She was breastfeeding and taking a bottle nicely.
Oh, wow.
Then the tracheostomy actually kind of interfered with her suck, swallow, breathe pattern and everything. So then we ended up with the G tube, which was a blessing in disguise actually too, for weight management and things. She had 2 skull surgeries, her syndactyly releases, and then a couple of surgeries after for some fine tuning, straightening of the thumb, etc. Hi, do you want to come say hi? We're talking about you. This is Miss Stephanie. Come here. You want to come say hi? This is Miss Stephanie.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
Good. I love your glasses. They're very pretty.
You want my dog?
Yes, I love your dog too. Your dog's adorable.
I know you love her puppy. She almost made you fall, huh? Okay, can you go finish playing so I can finish talking about you and how special you are?
I want to watch you.
You want to watch? Okay, you can hang out.
She's adorable.
Thank you. So yes, so a couple of random surgeries for granulation tissue removal from the trach that was interfering.
Yeah.
She also had one of her interesting comorbidities when she was born that we found when we were getting ready to place the G tube. She had malrotation of the intestines.
Really?
Which I guess is fairly unique or kind of not as common. And they found it while we were getting GI testing done. And they were like, you have to go to the ER immediately. And I was like, what do you mean? They're like, this isn't an emergency now, but it could become an emergency real fast, like an obstruction. So she ended up having the G2 placement, and then the LADS procedure, which corrects the malrotation of the intestines. And then they just did the appendix removal at the same time. So that was one. So yeah, her 11th one was last year. Each year we've been readdressing with her neuro and plastics team about when we're going to do mid-face. We thought it might be this summer. We're thinking now next summer because she'll be 7.5, a little bit older, give her 1 more year. So
that'll be good. When she has her mid-face, will she be able to get her trach out?
We are hopeful. Yes, her teams are all very hopeful of that. Her ENT, her plastics and neurosurgeons are all hopeful of that. Oh, just throw the ball at the camera. You're silly. She can't catch it. So yes, that is hopefully our goal. Everything looks good. That should be able to happen. Obviously, we will have to do sleep studies and everything after to determine that. But that is the ultimate goal. But it's funny because you naturally resist wanting to get a trach, in the beginning because of fear. And now it's just all part of our everyday lives. Yeah. That like, if we're like, okay, we're going to wait 1 more year, we're like, all right, like it's not the greatest, but it's not the worst thing. Like we're used to it. And then she also had, after her second cranial surgery, she ended up having hydrocephalus issues. So we waited it out. We spent like 2 extra weeks in the hospital trying to see if it would resolve, and it didn't. So we ended up placing a shunt.
So she has all the same things that Emma has.
Really?
Uh-oh.
You know they're recording this, and everyone's going to see you. Oh, there, girl.
I didn't touch
You're silly.
You did knock her over. So your Emma has a shunt, a trach, and a G-tube.
Yes, she has a shunt, she has a G-tube, and she has a trach.
Oh, look at that. Her daughter, Emma.
Yes.
It's just like you. She
Did I
has,
see ya?
I think she's in the other room right now playing.
She's in the other room, but come here, she's a hot mess. She is a super hot mess right now. She just got over croup, so.
Oh,
Emma, this is Eden. This is Eden,
Hi,
and this
Emma.
is Michelle. Can you say hi?
hi.
Can you say hi?
Oh, look, she has a drink in
Can you
HME,
say
just
hi?
like you. See?
Look,
So cool.
she's got a trick like you.
But she likes me.
She's just like you. Yeah.
Can you
Hey.
say hi? Say hi.
She looked at me.
She is.
She's
She's a friend. She's shy.
Yeah.
Eden can be shy sometimes too, right?
Are you gonna say hi?
She's
Look,
probably just hanging out like
you
you
have a
sometimes.
trach too.
Yeah,
You see
see?
her trach?
Poochie.
Yeah. Got a feather.
She's playing with Play-Doh. She's got
Yeah.
Play-Doh, see?
Oh, she has
loves
Play-Doh,
Play-Doh.
look.
Get my dog.
Don't let the dog get the Play-Doh.
Show her my dog.
She has the Play-Doh.
You tell her
Can you
my
say
dog.
bye-bye?
Hi, it was so nice to meet
Can you
you.
say bye-bye? Can you say nice to meet
Okay,
you?
can you wave
Bye-bye.
bye and go play with Roxy too?
Just go play. Go play. You go
Go
play too.
I want to say hi.
We gotta
Go
talk
play
now,
too.
okay? Thank you for coming to join. Go play with Rox. Too cute.
I think that's the first time that she's ever seen another kid with Abert.
Yeah, probably for her too. Like she's seen pictures, but not in person.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so
Very
cool. I love
cool.
it.
Yeah, that's
I love
awesome.
that.
So cool. What do you think of Emma?
Yeah.
New friend, right?
Oh, she was looking at me.
She was looking at you too, checking you out, right? On
Yes.
the video?
Mama. Mama, no. No.
She's gonna try to steal the show now, so we're gonna have to redirect her. a little bit. Oh my goodness.
We resisted the trach as well. Emma didn't get hers until she was about 6 months old.
Yeah.
It's
And
mine.
It's
we
hard.
just-
It's a
we
hard
got
truth
it.
to come to. Yeah. The first time they said it to us, we were like, what are you, crazy? We're not
Yeah,
doing
we were
that.
like, no. We were like,
Yeah.
she can breathe just fine. She
Yeah.
sounded like a pterodactyl, but we're like, no, she's fine. She can breathe just fine.
Yep. We said the same thing. We're like, unless she's sick, but she was born in December and, in the winter in New York.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, when she's not congested, she breathes fine. But she couldn't really breathe through her mouth. So when she got
Yes.
congested, it was game over. And the funny thing was, after we got the trach, and like a week after or so, when she really kind of settled down from recovering from the trauma of surgery, about a week later, she was started to show like milestones, like smiling, engaging, and interacting with toys. And I was like, oh, she really needed this. She was using every bit of energy to breathe. She was working to breathe, and that's where all of her energy was focused. And
Yeah.
within a week, she was smiling and engaging with her toys and everything. And I was like, this was the right decision. She needed this.
Yeah, same with Emma.
So
Same
crazy.
thing with Emma. And I was upset at the fact that they talked about, well, you may not be able to hear her and it may take
Yes.
her a while. And she never had any issues with that. She always blew past it. Was Eden always able to blow past hers?
Pretty quickly, and some of it, I don't know if it was preference. Please stop. If it was preference because she had the sign language and she was understanding, so she was relying on that.
Right.
Or I'm not really, or if it was just, because we threw so much speech therapy at her. Every specialist, every speech therapist we could find, we were throwing at her outpatient, early intervention. And she was funny because we would take her to this extra speech therapy session where the therapist in the moment would be trying to get her to make a sound and she wouldn't do it. And then in the car on the way home, she would do it just fine.
Yeah.
So some of it I think was like voluntarily choosing, maybe like kind of post, like maybe traumatic stressed that she wasn't talking and stuff and that kind of effect
Yeah.
until she was ready and realized it was an effective form of communication because she understood everything and she would vocalize, point, make sounds, blowing past the trach, and do signs. She just wasn't verbally. And then all of a sudden in preschool, she started.
Yeah.
And once she started, now she doesn't ever be quiet. And yes, she doesn't need the valve. Like we use the valve, the passive valve, but she doesn't need it to talk. She blows right past the trach too and talks.
That's how Emma is with hers too. She would much rather just not even use it.
Yeah. We definitely still use it, just not well. Now we're working on the cap because we're trying to work on her building her lung capacity and get used to that. So yeah. Right.
How are you doing with that?
Dad.
You like
Are you
your
doing
cap,
good?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do we always say your cap does? It makes you what? Loud.
Yes, it makes you loud.
Did I show her one thing?
What do you want to show her?
I just want to show her something.
No, you're not going to carry the phone around and go start showing her everything. She only has so much time. You want to show her your fun?
No, you're not going outside.
Somehow.
What do you mean?
How did you do that?
I don't know.
Okay, so somehow she put this on safe driving mode and I don't know how to fix it. Are you still there?
I am. I can hear you, but I just can't see you.
Yes. Somehow she put this on safe driving mode and I don't know how to fix it.
Oh no.
This, my dear. I don't know what to do.
I just don't.
Let me see.
How do we do that?
I have no idea how to do this.
It's all back.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, go play, please.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, she is still there. I just can't figure
Yes.
out how to fix it. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
I genuinely can't. I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah, they'll be back. They'll be back. They're still there. We just got to fix their camera.
Okay.
No, you're not.
The thing is, I hear you, but it's super low. I cannot. I don't even know where it is on my phone now.
Oh,
I don't know how you
no.
did this, my love. I have no idea what you did.
I did it by accident.
I know it's okay. It was an accident. I just don't know how to fix it. Back to meeting. And my
Maybe?
microphone is muted. Right, I need you to go. Okay. Okay, now I think I got the microphone good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, I just don't know how.
Hold on. But I like, wait, a little bit.
All right, do you want to just speak? Because I honestly don't know how to fix this.
Sure.
No, I don't know how she did it,
Absolutely.
and I don't want
That's
to
perfectly
take away your
fine.
time.
No, that's perfectly fine. Does she still use her G-tube now?
We do. She does eat by mouth, but we do still use it for bolus formula feeds for weight management. And then we'll use it, to give her Pedialyte or to give her certain meds if we need to. And it really is a lifesaver. Honestly, if we had to keep the G-tube for quite some time, I wouldn't be opposed to it because it's kind of like a hidden little gem. If you don't need it, no worries, it's there. But if you need it, it's there and it saves you sometimes. So yes, we do.
Does she like to chipmunk her food?
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
I
there
figured
you
it out.
are.
Yes, sometimes she does. So we do a very like a soft pureed or soft chunky diet because her malalignment of her jaws is so significant. Really, the only place that her teeth really make contact are like really far in the back.
Yeah.
So she really can't chew well. She really can't chew up food. She'll eat anything. I basically just make it into like, if it's a soft food, it can be chunky, soft. Otherwise, if we're doing meats and, but she eats everything and we just puree it up and chop it up. That's all.
Very cool. Do you guys have to go far for your doctor's appointments and your surgeries?
We had done a consult with Dr. Fearon via phone. We did a consult over at Boston Children's because that's about 4 hours from us. 3.5, 4 hours. So we did the consult over with the Boston Children's team. And then we had our team here in Westchester, New York, which is just outside the city. So it's like 50 miles south of us here.
Okay.
So we ended up going with our team here, not necessarily out of convenience, but we actually loved them. And they saw her from the NICU on, and they were just
Yes.
like, listen, if you choose to go with us, great. If you don't, we are here as a close resource if you need us. So they were just really great, and we just were comfortable with them. So that's who we've gone to for her cranial surgeries. And ENT and pulmonology, and everybody is here. We did go to Boston Children's for Dr. Upton to do her syndactyly releases. So we go out there for that, which is a haul, 3.5, 4 hours, but it's not terrible. It's doable,
Right.
So not terrible, but it's interesting because we have a hospital up here, but pretty much anytime, unless she's not stable, anytime that we're like, okay, she's sick enough or whatever that we need to go to the hospital, our pediatrician is like, go straight down to the children's hospital, because you're stable enough, because you're just going to get sent there anyway. So
Yeah. And that's the same with us. Ours is an hour and a half away. And so we just skip over our local because our local would be terrified.
Yeah. We've gone once or twice in when we had to do a couple 911 calls for her. And they have to take you legally to the local hospital to stabilize, and then they transferred us. But they definitely look like deer in headlights. And I'm like, all right, we just need X, Y, and Z. You just tell them, you're like, this and this, I need this and this, and then ship us on out.
Exactly. And that's what they would do with us anyway. If we were to go there, is they would send us to Lubbock because they just don't have the resources here.
Right. And the skill set and the knowledge. And it's not, because it's so specialized. It's so unique.
It really is. It truly is. Does she get, you already answered that. Never mind. She does get all of her therapies at school.
She does. One of the few good things left about living in New York, because it's, getting a little crazy up here. But the services are really good. We get great access to, and always have, to all the clinical services that she needs, the PT, OT, speech in school. And, when it was early intervention, we got great access then. We were very fortunate on that front. Look, there's Emma again. She's smiling. Are you sticking your tongue out like her? You copying her?
Are you going to say hi this time? No, you're just going to sit?
Just hanging out. That's okay. Do you want to see our puppy? Did you see her?
Oh, did you see the puppy? Look at the puppy. Oh, look at the puppy.
The puppy doesn't need to look at the camera. Don't worry.
What's the puppy's name?
What's the puppy's name?
Roxy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's a big puppy, right? I know. She's like, who is that, right?
Yeah. We have Samson. I'm hoping someone let him back in because he was outside in the rain. Oh, he's right there. Okay, good.
She's trying to get you to play ball. See, she wants you to throw the ball.
Look at the ball. Oh, she had a ball.
She just wants to know what we're doing. She's nosy like you.
Yeah. She always put the ball to me.
Whenever you try to do something, she sure does.
If I don't get my brother, and I don't just put the ball to me.
She said, if I go get my Kindle and sit on the couch, she brings the ball to me.
Adorable. So she likes to play fetch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's showing you when she's trying to relax and sit and watch her Kindle a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, Bubba has a ball right now too. Yeah.
You have a ball too? Cool. So cool.
I know. Is he catching it? Yeah. I know.
Oh yeah. You talk right around that trick too, Emma, just like Eden. Yep.
Yeah. No, we're not throwing it. If you're going to throw the ball, go in there, please.
Oh, the joy.
And she's like, oh, let's go play the ball. Throw me the ball.
Sorry, this video is going to be so shaky because
you're
she's moving me
fine.
all around here.
You're fine. What is one piece of advice that you would give to a new Apert family?
Oh goodness. Somebody told me very early on that just to breathe and take it one day at a time, because the first 18 months would be hectic as you figured out all the comorbidities and you went through the first round of surgeries, and it was going to be wild and just an emotional roller coaster. And then around 3 years old, it was going to calm down. Things tend to calm down a little bit and you can like settle in. So I think that would probably be the biggest thing I would want to pass on. It's going to be okay. Just take a deep breath, take it one day at a time and breathe, because it's a wild ride and you don't know what you're in for, but it's going to be okay. It's just going to be wild for a little while.
Absolutely.
You do get to that point where you can not live in fear of what may be, and you'll figure your child out just like you would your typically developing child, and you'll figure it out, and then it will be your norm and everything will kind of settle out, and you'll be able to not just be in that survival mode, you'll be able to thrive again.
Baba.
Definitely. Definitely. Eden.
Baba.
Oh, then Stephanie's talking. Stephanie's asking you a question.
What?
What's your favorite thing to do?
Play-Doh.
Play-Doh.
Play-Doh. What do you like to make with Play-Doh?
Chippy, which is her aunt has a little turtle named Chip, so she likes to make a little chip out of Play-Doh. You like bubbles too. You love bubbles and chalk, right? And playing games. You're so silly. You're very silly.
Baba, where's Emma?
She's probably playing.
Emma went to play ball with Bubba.
Oh.
Did I think Baba?
No, I think they're on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the kitchen. They're in the living room.
What?
She do what? She says that to people and they say stuff to her. You're too funny.
I'm in the dining room.
She said I'm in the dining room.
No? Okay, well, go play. If
Here she is. Hi, Emma.
Hi.
Yeah, go play. You what? Well, hold it up. Oh, it fell.
It fell.
See, she's
Yeah.
playing and hanging out with her
She's
mama
playing
too,
with the
right?
ball. Okay, go play.
This is like crazy. Yeah.
You.
It's like crazy
school?
over here.
Right?
Do you like
Do you like school?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't Play-Doh.
Okay, stop putting the Play-Doh
Yeah,
on
and
the
you play with the Play-Doh at school?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you excited to be in first grade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. Oh my God.
Okay, stop, please. If you're talking, you can't keep pulling the
I
camera.
saw
out,
Emma.
then she can't hear.
Yeah.
You saw Emma's hair?
Yeah.
What'd you run by?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see Emma's hair when she ran by? It's a mess. Her hair's a mess. She's been sick, so she's a little bit of a mess. But we'll get there.
That's it. You just got to power through, right?
Yeah.
We've been dealing with a host of GI issues that we're now having to do some differential diagnosing and do some workups and figure out for her, because she's been dealing with constipation and she used to have reflux, but she had the Nissen, the tightening of the esophagus. So we never really had problems, but recently she's having a lot of constipation issues, which are, and then she's having random episodes of vomiting outside of illness because she's constipated. So we don't know if her Nissen is failed now too, because she's grown, if she's getting reflux. So we actually went to the GI doctor today and we're having to do all kinds of tests now and everything to check out that system and see what's going on. What do you say when I'm talking? Thank you. What do you need? No, not another meeting after this one. She's back to like the Zoom days. She's like, oh yeah. Right? You did all your school and all your therapies on Zoom, right? Online.
We did that too.
Yeah.
Crazy times we live in.
Yes. We did everything on Zoom for a minute.
Yep. Sure did, right?
Oh, where's Emma?
I don't know. She's playing.
She's playing.
She's playing, man. She's playing in the house.
Ma, ma.
This one loves the phone and the camera. So anytime someone's on, she's going to be right there with you.
Yes.
Right?
Both have the play dates together sometime.
Papa.
What baby? Eden,
What?
is there anything you want to say to the other April kids?
No.
No? Okay. Fair enough.
Any of the other kids like you who have Apert syndrome?
What?
Yeah.
Like Donna.
No, like you. Mother doesn't have Apert syndrome. You. Like Emma and you who have Apert syndrome.
What?
You guys are super special, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old is Emma?
I don't know. Ask her mommy.
How old is Emma?
Emma is 3. She'll be 4 on Saturday.
She has a birthday. What are they going to sing to her? Your favorite song? What are they going to sing on her birthday? Your favorite.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy
right?
birthday. Yeah.
Ooh. You are
All
so
right,
good.
guys, our time is running down. So I will let you guys go. Is there anything else that you guys would want to tell other parents or other families?
Join the support groups.
Yes.
Join all of our groups because they're the best support you can have. Having family and friends is great, but you need people who understand what you're
Yes.
going through, can empathize with you, are walking the path, know the road. You know, sometimes I look at posts that are of people that have the teenagers because I want to see what's to come and what
Yes.
challenges might present and how can I be prepared. And
Yeah.
so these groups are the best resources you can get because we're walking the path, and it's a very unique path, and you need the support of people going through similar. So join all the
Absolutely.
groups.
Do you have a blog or a website or anything that you would want to share?
We did. I haven't updated it in a long time. We did. The one was Post Hope, and it was Eden's Garden was the name of it. But I have to update it. I've fallen, as life gets busier with the 2 kids and the dog. I've fallen back on that, so we haven't updated. So I have to update that.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for talking with me this evening. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Stephanie.
it.
It was so
really
nice, and we're so happy to have gotten to meet you and Emma. Right?
Yes,
Yeah,
it was
that was
nice to
super cool.
meet you
Can I
guys.
see Emma one more time?
Can you see Emma?
Yes,
one
Emma,
more
come
time?
here. Come
So
here.
funny.
Eden wants to say bye.
I want to say bye.
She's all, come here, baby. Eden wants to say bye. Can you come say bye to Eden? Come say bye. Say bye.
Bye, Emma. It was so nice to meet
Bye.
you.
There it
We'll
was.
see you soon, maybe. Okay. Maybe you guys can chat like this another time.
Yes.
That would be super
That
fun,
would
right?
be
She
great.
loves chatting on the phone.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you guys so much.
You say bye.
Bye.
Ooh, you playing? I love colored pencils too. Cool. We'll see you soon. Thank
All
you.
right. Talk to you soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.